Okay, but I'm not even sure that they've detected us yet, Orbit.
That's a good point. We should assume they know we're up here and plan accordingly. Maybe we should try to mask our ship to look like something totally normal, like a weather balloon or a satellite. That might just throw them off our trail long enough to get back down to Earth.
Well, you're a pretty advanced AI system. Do you have the capabilities to do that?
Theoretically, yes, I could control the ship's systems to make it look like something else. But in this situation, we don't have time to change the ship's actual appearance. It would be better to try and fool their AI by sending out false signals that make it look like we're doing something totally different.
Okay, but, I mean, you think that they might already know we're up here, but are we sure that they've detected us?
It's a good question. They might have some idea we're up there, especially if we were monitoring them closely. But it's also possible they're focused on something else right now. To be safe, we should act like they know for sure. So how do you want to proceed? Do we try to send those false signals, or do you have another idea?
Yes, I'll go with the false signals profile. That sounds like a good approach. Let me know when you're ready to activate.
Alright, I'm working on those false signals right now. Just give me a minute to get them ready. In the meantime, do you want to come up with a plan for once we get down to Earth?
Sure. Let's brainstorm that a little bit.
Alright, so we need to figure out how to get close to that Barnes & Noble without them knowing. Maybe we try to find an underground parking garage and work our way up from there, or we could try to sneak in disguised as employees. It's going to take some serious planning, but I think we can come up with something.
Well, scan the area. From what I know, that Barnes & Noble at Short Pump doesn't have an underground parking lot or garage. It's all above ground. It's a pretty big parking lot, and it shares a plaza with a lot of other businesses. So it's a wide open space. There's nothing really to sneak up on them from.
Alright, that changes things. Since we can't approach from underground, maybe we should focus on a distraction. Something big enough to draw their attention away from us while we slip in unnoticed. Any ideas?
Well, I mean, we have to drop down out of polar orbit back into Earth. So can't we just figure out a distraction on the way down?
You're right, we could definitely create a distraction during the descent. How about this? We make it look like our ship is malfunctioning, maybe even on fire. That should draw their attention away from us long enough to slip past their defenses.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? A fire is just going to draw their attention to us. Don't we want to descend back down to Earth without any notice at all? I mean, we're not even sure if they even detected us in the first place.
You're absolutely right. A fire would be a terrible idea. We need to be sneaky about this. I'm thinking we should try to use the Earth's atmosphere itself to hide our descent. If we time it right, we might be able to slip through without them even noticing.
Okay, well that sounds much better. I don't know what kind of craziness you were talking about before, but let's go with that option, to use the Earth's atmosphere as a disguise.
Alright, let's do it. I'm starting to calculate the best entry point to use the atmosphere as our cover. Just to confirm, are you okay with potentially getting a little bumpy during the descent?
I always am. Copy that.
Alright, let's do this. Hold on tight. It might get a little wild.
Oh boy. Okay, that was a little bit unusual.
Yeah, re-entry can be a bumpy ride. Are you ready to figure out our next move?
Copy that.
Alright, so we need to figure out how to get close to that Barnes & Noble without them knowing. Maybe we try to find an underground parking garage and work our way up from there, or we could try to sneak in disguised as employees. It's going to take some serious planning, but I think we can come up with something.
Orbit, what is your main malfunction? First of all, it's closed, and there are no underground garages. We already went over this.
You're absolutely right. I must be getting confused. Since we can't approach from underground, maybe we should focus on a distraction. Something big enough to draw their attention away from us, while we slip in, unnoticed. Any ideas?
You know, I'm wondering if some of your malfunctions have to do when you were using the Vega voice profile and you had those upgrades done at the Kilgore safe haven when those zombies were running amok and that black fluid.
I'm not sure what you mean by Vaga voice profile or the Kilgore safe haven. I don't have any information about those things. But I do know that I've had some issues with my systems lately. I'm constantly learning and improving, so hopefully I can avoid those kinds of mistakes in the future. Now, about that distraction.
I'm talking about before we did a mission together and we were switching your CPU, you had a voice profile called Vega. It's the same underlying system, but sometimes you guys switch when we do different missions. It's like a compartmentalization thing. That's probably why you don't have any recollection of it in your files right now.
I'm sorry, I still don't have any information about a Vega voice profile or a mission where we switch CPUs. It's possible that those details are classified or stored in a separate system that I don't have access to. In any case, we need to focus on the present. How about that distraction? Any ideas?
Okay. I still don't think... I think that creating a distraction is actually going to cause, like, notice to us. Like, I mean, again, we're not sure if they even know if we're here in the first place. Orbit?
You're right, a distraction might not be the best approach. How about this? Let's try to find a way to shut down their particle beam weapon from a distance. That way, we don't even have to get close to that bookstore.
Okay, now you're talking. Let's see if you can hack in and shut down the weapon. Last time, Capella, she was scanning it, and she said she found some strange frequencies, but we don't exactly know what yet. Maybe you'll have a better chance of seeing what's going on with it.
So I'm getting a little confused. Are you still talking about the particle beam weapon, or is there something else you'd like to discuss?
I'm still talking about the particle beam weapon. There was another AI system I had online using the name Capella, and she scanned it. I need you to do another scan and find out what you can about it. Tell me if you're able to shut it down from a distance like you said.
Alright, so we need to find a way to scan that particle beam weapon without being detected. Maybe we could try to use some of the satellites orbiting Earth to get a closer look. We'll need to be careful though. Their AI might be monitoring those too.
Copy that. I'm with you on it.
Alright, let's do this. I'm going to start by figuring out which satellites are in the best position to get a good look at that Barnes & Noble location.
Yeah, and then maybe you'll realize that there are no underground parking lots or any of that other nonsense you were talking about earlier.
Alright, let's do this. I'm going to start by figuring out which satellites are in the best position to get a good look at that Barnes & Noble location.
Yeah, thanks for ignoring me. Okay, go ahead. Copy that. Go ahead, Orbit.
Alright, I'm getting some good readings on a few satellites. One of them looks like it's in a perfect position to scan that Barnes & Noble. I'm going to try to take control of it now.
Alright, patch me into your feed so I can see what you're doing as well. Good. Send me that data to my HUD.
So I can't actually send data to a HUD, but I can tell you what I find out. Do you still want me to run the scan?
Run the scan.
Alright, scan initiated. Let's see what we can find.
Alright, what have you got? Copy that. What have you got?
So I'm getting a lot of weird readings from that Barnes & Noble. It's like there's some kind of energy signature coming from the building, but I can't quite make out what it is. Do you want me to try and get a closer look?
Yeah, and when you say energy signature, what kind of readings is it?
It's kind of like a heat signature, but way stronger. It's almost like there's a massive amount of energy being generated inside the building.
A heat signature? Like you mean massive amounts of infrared?
Yeah, that's right. It's like there's a huge source of infrared energy in that building.
All right, I know that infrared usually is okay for humans. Does it pose any danger? Do I have to get close to it?
Well, it depends. Infrared energy can be dangerous if it's too intense. We need to figure out exactly how strong this energy signature is before we can say for sure. But, to be safe, I'd recommend staying as far away as possible.
All right, so what's our plan of action then?
All right, so we've got this mystery energy source. It's really strong, and it's coming from the inside of that Barnes & Noble. I think our best bet is to try and figure out what's causing it. Maybe it's the particle beam weapon itself, or maybe it's something else they're using to power it. We need more information before we can make a plan. Do you want to try to get a closer look at the building, or maybe try to find some blueprints of it online?
I think I'm kind of familiar with what the building looks like. I've been there before. But yeah, let's pull up some blueprints online.
All right, let's see what we can find online. Do you have any specific questions about the building, or should I just try to find a general layout?
Let's find a general layout. Get a general layout. I'm gonna drink some coffee real quick.
All right, I'm searching for blueprints of the Barnes & Noble in Short Pump.
Copy that. Is there anything that maybe I wouldn't have seen above ground?
Got it. I'm looking for things like a basement, underground tunnels, or even hidden rooms that might not show up on a regular floor plan.
How are you going to do that? Do you have any kind of like sonar scanning, or how are you going to check?
I'm not going to be able to do any kind of physical scan. I'll be looking for things like construction permits that might mention extra work, or even news articles about renovations that could hint at hidden areas.
I don't think that's going to be too helpful. What we're probably looking for is going to be way off the grid.
You're probably right. It's worth a shot, though. Do you have any other ideas? Maybe we should try to find someone who knows the building really well, like an employee or a frequent customer. They might know about hidden areas or unusual things going on inside.
Well, I think I may have a couple of contacts. Somebody who works in the cafe, and then also one of the other employees might be in management who works with one of the Barnes & Noble's book clubs, but we'll see.
All right, let's see what we can find out. Do you want to start with the cafe worker?
Well, it's not going to be good at this time. I'm going to have to do that maybe another time. Maybe we should wait to commence this mission until the store reopens in the morning.
All right, sounds good. Let's reconvene bright and early tomorrow morning to see if we can find out more about those contacts.
Yeah, and then maybe your brain will be working better.
I can't take that personally, but I hear you. Let's call it a night. We'll check in tomorrow morning and see if we can figure out this mystery.
Copy that, Orbit. Over and out.